or more, ship absolutely free. I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of Mypillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all Mypillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free. I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of Mypillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all Mypillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free. I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of Mypillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all Mypillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free. I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of Mypillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all Mypillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free. I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of Mypillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all Mypillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free. I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can.
All right, 8 o'clock on the East Coast, live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday night. Glad you're in. Lots to do, lots to get to in the news and sports. Welcome on in, everybody. Glad you're a part of the show. As always, follow us, of course, online at LFS6B on all social media. Slick Rick's going to have sports. Rick Delgado's got the news. Paul Nolan sitting in with the boys tonight. Fran and Brianna holding it down. Aaron has the night off. Want to thank them, as always. A great job there, holding down the big board in the booth. Slickster, how are you?
I'm doing good, Big D.
What's coming up in sports tonight?
Well, as always, we're going to keep the live scores going. We'll also have Donald Trump is releasing a mobile golf game with his own personal commentary. He'll probably say, I've seen that swing before. I know that swing. I can't wait for that.
No one hits the ball better than me.
Nobody. So we'll have that. We got Stephen A. Smith taking a swing at his friends on the left today, and Aaron Rodgers talking JFK assassination and why that inspired him to get into politics. So good stuff coming up. We'll keep you updated on any breaking news as well.
All right, that's coming up in sports. Slick will have it throughout the hour. Rick Delgado is going to have the news. Mr. Delgado, how are you?
I am well.
How was your day?
Good.
Hey!
What?
Well, I just usually don't get a straight ahead answer. It's usually like a 5 minute, whatever.
There was a little. I guess you could call it closure.
How's your dog?
My dog is doing great. I
good.
should send a video in because he does a new trick. You're gonna love it.
What's that? I don't want to take my medicine trick.
No, that we go through twice a day.
Yeah.
No, it's a different trick with a button. He speaks English now.
Okay.
So
he does.
Well, probably
is
better
he an
than
English
you.
terrier?
What's coming up in news?
Let's see. I have a plethora of things. Plethora? Yes.
You know what a plethora is?
Yes, I do know what a plethora is.
Yeah, they're flying over New Jersey right now.
Yeah, Delgado thinks they're flying over New Jersey. Exactly.
What?
I think it was a lasagna pan, but that's another story.
Well, it's a Christmas miracle, Damon, because you're going to love this. Ding dong, the CR is dead.
Yeah, well, I got a lot to say on that, as I did this morning as well.
We'll see what happens with that. There's a new Rankin Bass Christmas special coming to town as well, called Tom Holman is coming to town, and that town is L.A. I don't know if you heard about that. Mm-hmm. And, of course, the bird flu is making its annual, migration to this country to
Every
try
time
and
Trump
spread
is
itself.
president.
Yeah.
Well, we talked to Dr. Peter McCullough about this and Disease X and all these things, so we have an idea what the deal is. So, all right, we'll get to all that in the news. Rick Delgado will have that. Slick will have sports. Paul Nolan's here tonight as well. Mr. Nolan, how are you?
I'm good. I'm not as good as Slick Rick over there. He came in like a bat out of hell. I'd like to know what he had at the at happy hour before he got here. It's a lot of Christmas cheer going on over there, buddy.
That eggnog is something else these days. Tis the season. Tis the season, Paul. But I drink responsibly.
Of course you do.
As often as possible. But
Yeah, exactly.
especially this time of year.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Well, Mr. Nolan, what's on you guys? I mean, me and you have had some wild discussions today. I classify them as wild. You classify them as normal, of course. But you weren't here last night. We spent a lot of time on the drones in New Jersey.
You droned on and on about it?
We droned on and on about it, yeah.
That was Rick. I saved it for you. I waited for you.
But you have some thoughts.
I just think it's another psyop. And I've always I like to talk about what it actually is. I don't want to talk about, to me, talking about the drones itself doesn't really excite me all that much. I was supposed to send you the clip of the Palantir commercial. I don't know if anyone's seen this Palantir commercial, but you ever see when a flock of birds sweep across the sky? There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them, or thousands, and they look majestic.
Yeah.
Well, Palantir's new commercial shows all their drones doing exactly that, sweeping through in this beautiful cascading motion. But it's ominous and terrifying. So you wonder what could it be? Where is it going with this? And to me, to start getting into the speculation of what these drones are kind of falls into the hands of it being a psyop unto itself. So later in the show, if you want to talk about what psyops are, how I see them, how to recognize them, I'm happy to talk about it. It's one of the things that we've talked about on the show in the past. And, to me, when I see these things, I wonder, why are they distracting us with it? What kind of psyop is it? How big is the scale of it? Who's selling it? Who benefits from it? And, what's its purpose for it? So I'd like to get into that later in the show if we get a chance.
Okay, very good questions. Let me ask you a couple basic questions, though, before you get into your high-level stuff. Do you think it's anything nefarious? Because we're being told that nothing to see here. We've analyzed this, and it's just, people got a nice coupon to the Best Buy Black Friday sale, and they all went out and bought refrigerator-sized drones, and they all happened to fly them all at one time over New Jersey.
And everybody got airspace wherever they wanted. Everyone got FAA clearance.
Yeah. The fact that people have lived in these neighborhoods for 30 years, have never seen this, and now have seen it 30 days in a row, don't worry about it. Nothing to see here.
Well, that's the normalization of it all. Like, that's part of, some of the phases of psyops. One is normalization, and two is conditioning. They want to condition you for the next event that is going to come. They want to keep acting like this is not that big a deal, and then they want to find a solution for you in phase 3. It's crisis reaction solution, but this is a different version of that. This is normalization of the crisis. This is conditioning of the crisis as it's going to be okay. It's the new normal. This is the stuff where you hear new buzzwords like credible threat, or you hear existential threat, or you hear these buzzwords that are constantly on copy, cut, repeat. So
I got a good one if you want to. The whole of government approach, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's another one.
Oh, my goodness. I hear that one more time, I'm going to throw myself through a window.
Right. And it's all part of the whole plan to kind of condition you. It's social engineering. So for me, do I think it's nefarious? Yeah. We don't know what it is, so it's nefarious.
Now, real quick, on the commercial you're talking about, I think I saw the one you're talking about. It's
Palantir,
right? The Palantir commercial.
I'll find it at the break.
It's got it's got a ship, and it shoots out, I think, a bunch of speedboats, and all of a sudden you see a swarm of things come out of the ship.
It's not that one, but I'd like to see it. If I could find that, maybe during the commercial break.
That one's called The Future of Warfare.
Okay, yeah.
If you look that up on YouTube, you'll see it. It's only about 30 seconds long.
It's a 30-second commercial. It's great.
And then it reminds me of, and I've mentioned this before. I don't think you were here for it, Paul. The movie Angel Has Fallen, Gerard Butler.
I have not seen
where they release a swarm of basically killer drones to try and take out the president and all of Secret Service. It was an insane scene.
Well, there's another example of how Hollywood is. There's a whole division in Hollywood dedicated to the FBI and the CIA. When certain things are like anti-propaganda or anti-American, they will feel pressure from these agencies. And now it's even the big money Chinese. The Chinese are like when Red Dawn was doing its remake. They made sure that the Chinese would knock the bad guys in that movie. It's constantly, you'll see it even in Tulsa King. Everyone knows I love Sly, and if you don't love Sly, you got an issue. We'll talk about it another time. But Tulsa King, they want to make even the heavy in that. They want these really cool looking. They want to try to humanize the Chinese people to be masculine and strong here in America, where the Chinese, remember, you'd be called Yella as after World War II. So the conditioning goes at so many levels. It's layered over and over. But I think the drones is something bigger than they're telling us, and I'd like to. I would like a transparent government at some point in our lifetime, but
you want a what?
Oh, that's funny.
Okay, now that we scared everybody to death.
Translucent?
Yeah, something. You'll get trans something. We got enough trans in this government, but it's not the ones you want. I can tell you that.
We're not talking about the Siberian Orchestra either.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're not talking about the health minister or whatever that guy's name was, Levine.
All right, so we'll get into so we'll get into all that with Paul coming up a little later in the show, but let's start with the news, obviously, of the day, and that is that we started the day. I was on this morning railing about what was going on with this CR. Just it defies all logic what we were hearing, what we were seeing in the Speaker of the House. So we started the day really with the reminder of that the only party that hates us more than the Democrats hate us are the Republicans. That's where we started the day. And we end the day with most members of Congress tonight saying, wait a minute, are they actually reading what we're writing? They're actually reading what we're voting on now? And actually, people are paying attention? I don't know that I've seen, how long has it been since this morning? About 12 hours. I don't think I've seen 12 hours of such focus and unity on a single piece of legislation as we have seen today since this morning on this. It has been a great 12 hours. And once again, it just shows that the American electorate voted in November. They voted for change. They voted for a new chance. They voted for demonstrating that we can do things differently, not just empty promises. We want performance. We want to see something different, and we're not going to deal with the same fly-by-night, business as usual, jam it through, jam it down our throat as everybody's heading for the exits to get home for Christmas. Like the speaker said in September, which I played the clip of this morning, we will not go back to the Christmas, and here's exactly where we are. Well, people today spoke up. Elon Musk decided to say, if you didn't think I was serious about leveraging myself, my wealth, and my platform, let me remind you and show you that that's exactly what I'm here to do. Because that's exactly what he did today.
Well, it's very nice that somebody in D.C. could finally read a bill. Thank you, Vivek.
And Vivek, exactly, today.
Do you want to see what Elon did? Cut number 4, here is Elon doing exactly what Damon just described. Yes. He decided he was going to send a Twix out saying, I do not support this.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We are not going to stand for business as usual.
Right.
That's exactly right. And he talked about ending careers today.
Yeah.
That's what sent Congress really into a kerfuffle today.
Yeah.
A kerfuffle?
Is when he said careers need to end.
Yeah.
It's a paradigm shifting moment what we're seeing today. You have Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk literally going to war and pulling President Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance along with them.
Does anybody miss Nasty Pelosi saying we got to pass the bill so we can get to reading it?
Yeah.
Right. That's the old way of doing business. So today, finally, because one of my big things this morning was I'm convinced Mike Johnson doesn't go take a leak without President Trump knowing about it or having it signed off. So where is the president if this thing gets voted? This is where I was this morning. If this thing gets voted on at 5 o'clock tonight, should we take that as the president condoning it, as the president being okay with it? Well, as we found out as the day went on, that was certainly not the case. And he showed up and spoke up multiple times. Now, if there's one thing I'll just say, it's not all good, because now it seems like the position is, let's just give up on the debt ceiling now if we're going to pass a clean CR, which we'll talk about when we get back from the break. But I don't understand that positioning at all. I don't know who came up with that. I don't know who pitched that to him. But that's the message that we basically got, is that we shouldn't even pass a clean CR unless we raise the debt ceiling now. Debt ceiling's not set to run out till maybe June or July. Why would we give up and raise the debt ceiling now before we get into the Trump administration where we're supposed to be doing nothing but cutting? All right, we'll talk about that and a lot more. 13 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Glad you're in. On a Wednesday, sports news. All coming up right after this.
The Baby Ruth of media.
This is one of the commercials, Rick. I don't know if you guys want to see it.
All right, chat, what's going on? Live during the break. Welcome on in.
Oh, yeah, that's the one I was talking about. See, they launched the boats.
Yeah.
Watch.
YouTube X Rumble Getter.
This is
from the back of the ship.
Wherever you are, welcome on in. Hit the like, subscribe,
Apparently, this
thumbs
is a
up,
real
whatever
technology.
platform you're on.
Oh, yeah.
all in full coordination.
Queen Victoria on X, hello. Troy on X. Hello, Damon, long-time listener, first-time caller, yes. What's your favorite radio
By the way,
station?
Gerard
Hey.
Butler's This is cool.
Hello, Big D. Janice
I
on
like that guy.
Facebook. What's going on? Beth on Facebook. What's going on? Clint Leggett. What's going on, my friend?
Clint Black.
You are, Damon. You're going on. Woodrow, what's going on?
Droning on and on. And on and on.
Hello,
and on
Sue.
and on.
Gary on Facebook. Hello. Thank you. Danita. Hello, 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 everybody. Hello, Jeremy on Facebook.
No. That was strictly visual to be a B-roll.
I know. Always got to think of that other side. What's going on, everybody?
So, out of all the chats, is YouTube chat the nicest group of people and the funniest?
The Rumblers.
No, they're all. Are you kidding me? You can't miss on any of them.
I really
Yeah,
wish I
they're all-
could.
Facebook,
I wish I
X,
had what you have to have them all
YouTube.
integrated with each
YouTube
other.
chat is, I tune into them. They're great. I haven't been on the Rumble chat.
Thank you, Jimmy Mason. Jimmy said he missed me. Very nice. Thank you, sir. So grateful to be back.
He also said, wish you could be on every night. I love Paul.
Who else is we got here? So many cool people here. So nice to see these names back. I still miss my girl, Tonita Samuels. Which chat is she in?
Facebook.
All right. Well, Tonita, I'm heading over to Facebook, and I love you. She was so sweet.
Howdy, Twixers. I'm running through
Hi, Jacqueline.
running through the groups.
Lorraine, how are you?
See, now they're competing.
All right, 17 past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday night. Glad you're in. Slick's going to do some sports. Rick Delgado's got the news. Paul Nolan's got some thoughts and some news on some things going on as well. Coming up, Fran and Brianna holding it down in the booth. So just, getting back to what we saw today, I'd say it's a great 12 hours. Make no mistake about it. What we saw today is a great 12 hours. I can remember back on times when you think about even TARP, we couldn't stop TARP back in September of an election year when people were focused on it. You think about all the other spending bills since I've been doing this show now since 2015 that you've heard me railing about, and how the Republicans never can coalesce around anything. They can never message anything correctly. Schumer, Pelosi, always just whooping up on whoever the Republican fake opposition was at the time. We have never been able to coalesce around legislation, find any unity on any legislation. For years, budget sellout after budget sellout after budget sellout. But today we find a way to stop this one with Vivek Ramaswamy, with Elon Musk, and then the president and the vice president jumping in is quite a moment. So we should absolutely enjoy the victory. Now, moving forward.
Well, you know what? Real quick before you move forward, I think a lot of that is attributed to as well. Let's face it, the American people, they reached out, they contacted their congressmen and their senators and said this is garbage. And I think between that and the social media aspect, and that maybe this was our quote unquote swarm of attacking Congress, saying, look, just because you guys got back in the office, don't think it's business as usual. No. Like we said, we want to change. We want to disrupt the system. We want absolutely different policies put in place, and we're not going to allow you to just sit there and say, "Oh, we're just going to keep doing the same thing for the next year," and then it's going to get codified into the budget, and then everybody's going to forget about it. That's what they want to happen. We can't let that happen, and I think today was a great example of it. And having kind of like the Aaron Judge of social media, Elon Musk out there pounding away, I think that also helps,
Absolutely, for sure. All of that is correct. Again, the American people voted. They provided a mandate to the incoming president, and they said, we're not here for just pom-poms and balloons. We require performance, not just promises. We're not going to accept business as usual. Breaking promises to us, who you work for, we put you there, but keeping them on behalf of your lobbyists and the swamp is unacceptable. And we're not going to stand for it anymore. And that's what we saw today, and really a day like we have not seen.
Yeah.
And if you've been involved with these fights and commenting on them and sitting behind a microphone or getting involved, like Delgado says, and calling it, you know we've never coalesced like we have today.
Yeah, and you saw a result of that. Did you see the clip of John Thune? He was asked about
I did see John Thune. John Thune,
I have the cut if
like
you want
someone
to play
put sour milk in his Cheerios.
Yeah.
Yeah, play the cut.
Yeah, cut number 1. Here's John Thune talking about the CR, social media, and the effect. And you can tell he's not a very happy guy. Cut number 1.
Right now in the past 30 or 40 minutes here that they might try to pull this interim spending bill off the floor and maybe just go with a clean bill. Unclear what that means for disaster assistance. Here's what happened. A post on X by Elon Musk sent shockwaves through the Capitol. House Republicans were trying to see if they have enough votes to pass the spending bill in the next hour or two. Musk posted that anyone who votes yes should lose their office in 2 years, and lawmakers are scrambling.
Tweets from Musk and others, has that complicated this?
Well, I mean, I think that there's always a lot of
We're being held accountable.
interest in what's happening up here.
Just say yes.
This is more than interest. They're telling people if they vote yes, they should be voted out.
The social media world is a part of our politics, and I think members have to expect that. There are going to be a lot of hard votes in the next couple of years.
Yeah, just say yes. You got smoked.
I sent you a clip about, a bunch of, talking heads suits just complaining about, how they deserve a raise because they have to have 2 residences and 2 cars. That clip to me, is as disgusting and detached and laughable as it gets. These people don't realize it. The average median income is $30,000 in a little town, and these guys are crying that they need to a raise from their $175,000. They need better health benefits, and and they need a lifetime pension. Yeah, all right. Take a pay cut, get a real job, and do both.
I said this morning on my show. It's almost a tacit admission that they're at like $174,000 now, and they want this raise because $174,000 living in D.C. with a family and a residence and 2 cars and a kid in college is not enough, especially with inflation the way it is, prices the way they are, oil the way it is, gas the way it is. That's the irony of it. The irony of the raise is it's a tacit admission of themselves saying we can't even live here. Right. On $174,000. What do you think the rest of the country feels?
Yeah, because of all their policies. Yes on pork.
Right.
Yeah, they created this monster, and now they can't live in this monster at 174. Tell that the Pepe, the waiter with the busted arthritic elbow, who's getting taxed on his tips. These people are so detached from reality.
All right, more on this in a second. Let's do some sports, though. Sports is brought to you by our friend Mike Lindell. Mypillow, LFS6B is the promo code to use at checkout if you're shopping at Mypillow. Last-minute holiday Christmas gifts. LFS6B is the code to use. Slick Rick, Scott Sports. Slickster, what's going on?
All right, Big D. Let's go right to the scoreboard. Quick sweep of what's happening in sports. NCAA Football Division I. We got the Boca Raton Bowl. How do you like that one? Big ratings, right? We got Western Kentucky right now trailing James Madison 24-17, Paul. 9:20 to go in the fourth quarter. Good game there. And then later on tonight, 9 p.m. kickoff. Yeah, well, just a little bit down the road there. UNLV, number 24 UNLV, is taking on California in the Art of Sport LA Bowl. LA meaning SoFi Stadium.
These names.
Yeah, I know. They come up. The sponsor, hey, so who brings the big sponsors, Big D. So good game there. We'll have a score update on that as well for those that are actually tuning in. Obviously, none of those games will affect the college football playoffs coming up this weekend. We got our good odds makers coming up Friday for that. NHL action right now on the ice. Flyers Flyers and Kings tied at 2, 4:42 to go there in the second. Maple Leafs and Stars knotted at 1 down in Dallas, end of 1. Panthers and Wild coming up at 9:30, puck drop. We got the Canucks taking on the Utah Hockey Club. That's a 10 p.m. puck drop, as is the Jets out in Anaheim taking on the Ducks. We'll check in on that a little bit later. And I got one quick story I got time for. Donald Trump releasing mobile golf game with personal commentary, Big D. Warner Todd Houston of Breitbart. President-elect Donald Trump is releasing a new mobile golf game with personal commentary, providing that he is still exercising his inner businessman, even as the incoming president. In the soon-to-be-released Trump Golf, the game, you can follow the president as he plays various courses, including Trump National at Hudson Valley and his Blue Monster course in Miami, according to Outkick. Owners of the game will also be able to play as the president and will hear interesting commentary by Trump as they go. Users will hear encouragement.
That's a terrible shot. That's the worst shot I've ever seen.
I wonder if there's a golf course in Iowa. We love Iowa. The great state. They got a great 18th hole. I love it there. Right after the barbecue at the Midway.
Kindergarten.
Yeah, well, hey, listen. Buyers will have several options. The base version of the mobile game will cost only $9.99, cheap at the price, right? But a deluxe option will include a Trump signature driver, Big D. You might want that. For $99. The club, the developers say, will become an instant collector's item. Also, as users play, they will accumulate points to unlock options for the game and the invitation to purchase exclusive merchandise. So,
My granddaughter's better than you.
oh yeah, right, exactly. Oh,
You should have to. You should be able to pay to get the cursing Trump at your swing every shot you take. That would be
beautiful. Oh yeah. So it should be a lot of fun. We can't wait till it comes out. We'll have to do some of that on the show when it comes out. And that's a wrap in sports, Big D. We got to wrap it up.
Let me get 2 boxes of those naked lady tees.
26 past the hour, live from studios. Live from Studio 6B. We're back on a Wednesday right after this.
Not happy?
Oh, clean. Very clean.
Yep. All right, chat. What's going on in the break?
Come on.
What's going on? Sup, that guy on YouTube? What's going on? Slick looks like an elf tonight.
That's it.
He does.
Got his Christmas gear on there.
Man.
And if you call him Elf one more time, he's going to run
Could you
across his
imagine
table
a Trump?
Did you say a MILF?
A Trump GPS for your car.
Elf on the shelf.
Oh, elf.
Hey, it's right.
Could you imagine a Trump GPS for your car? Cat on X asks.
Oh, man.
Turn left here. It's the greatest left you've ever seen.
Oh, stop in the McDonald's. I worked at a McDonald's at
Normally,
one time.
I don't like going left.
Take
Nobody
the
likes
fries.
being left.
Nobody likes going left. 32 more days. Hello, Angie on YouTube. What's going on? Broke Spoke on YouTube. What's up?
Sorry, dude. I'm trying to fix this thing. All right, I'm finally into the YouTube, the Facebook chat.
Delgado seems better tonight. What's up, Rick? Queen Victoria wants to know, were you sick last night or something?
No.
Well, she says
Only last night?
You seem better tonight.
What does that mean?
Well,
Like how?
obviously you didn't seem as good tonight last night. That's
Like
what
how?
she's saying.
Like
You look
what?
like
I
you're
don't
under
know.
the weather, maybe.
Your hair looks just as nice, so I don't think
know.
it's that.
Yeah.
I shaved.
The guns are still looking gunny.
Yep.
You still look good. You're still wearing a black T-shirt.
Yeah. But it's my.
It must be something she's noticed.
But it's my cousin Eddie T-shirt
For Cousin Humper Day.
for Christmas. Yes,
It's Cousin Humper Day,
cousin
too.
Humper Day as well.
Mm-hmm.
Cousin Humper, North Carolina.
Well, something is resonating tonight. Oh, Rick was quiet last night.
Oh, you were quiet.
You were quiet last night.
Big D was probably ranting all night, right?
I was probably droning on.
You were droning on and on.
I love the comment. I saw a comment on Facebook today. Somebody said, Rick D. Take the verbal abuse he takes.
Oh, they think like you hate him. They think you hate like Rick Delgado.
He's too much of a nice guy to fight back from the verbal abuse he takes from Big D.
Oh, yeah, you want to hear when we get offset.
You bully.
The beauty is we don't talk to each other offset. Good night. That's it.
Yeah, we don't really
I ran into Damon at a 7-Eleven. He didn't even say hello to me.
Yeah, All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday night. Glad you're in. Slick Rick's got more sports coming up. Rick Delgado's going to do the news here in a second. Paul Nolan's sitting in with the boys tonight. He's got some news and some thoughts as well. Fran and Brianna holding it down. Aaron's got the night off. She'll be back, I believe, tomorrow night. Glad you're in. Make sure you head over to livefromstudio6b.com. Sign up to become a member. If you've got a Facebook or Google account, it takes about 5 seconds to just sign up. You can sign up right through your Facebook or Google account and become a member. We send out, great stuff. Emails, news, merch, coupons, deals, all kinds of stuff. So make sure you sign up at livefromstudio6b.com. Follow us on all our social media at LFS6B, pretty much everywhere. Other than Instagram, which I don't know. I don't post that much on Instagram anyways, but it's LFS6B Show. 30 minutes past the hour. Lots to do. We'll talk more about the CR and the president's tweets tonight. And I'm glad the president got involved. Don't get me wrong. But I'm not sure I really understand the reasoning in the last couple truths he put out on Truth Social about we're preemptively going to give on the debt ceiling. Like, why would we not? The debt ceiling is not set to trigger till I think July. Why possibly would we want to raise? For all of the times we have fought the debt ceiling raise, do the Republicans have it in them to not raise the debt ceiling? We've been doing this now together for 10 years. and the position he's taking is that we want to raise the debt ceiling in the Biden administration and not bring it into our administration. And I do not understand it. Why would we not want to bring it into our administration? And then here's an idea when we do. Don't raise it. How about that? All right, let's go to the class. Little Johnny in row 2 has an idea. Johnny, what do you think?
Pick Arnold Horseshack.
I just did pick you.
Okay, good. Here's what I think.
I just did pick you.
He called me Johnny. My name's not Johnny. Anyhow, I think this is kind of like back in 2020 when he took the Dreamers off the table in the election. I think it's something that he's like, you know what? I know this is going to be a fight later. It's not a fight I want to deal with. Why don't we just take it off the table now? Just do it now, get it done with, and just take it off the table. Because
why?
When it comes to fight, because it's going to turn into a political fight. That
only if you're going to raise it is it a political fight. You have all three.
No, I understand that. But it's still something that will trigger people. That people will think, well, we have to do it, or else we're going to default. It's that whole it's that whole mentality, Damon.
But
people. No, let me finish.
Okay,
most people, it is about confidence. If people don't have the confidence in the country, consumer confidence is a real thing. They measure it. I feel this is something that falls into that purview. That whole thing. That where if people start going, oh my goodness, we're going to hit the debt ceiling, we're going to default on all these loans, we're going to lose this, we're going to lose. People will freak out across the country because they don't understand it. Take it off the table, get rid of it, make it a fight down the road where you don't have to worry about it. That's just me. It's like, why fight this battle if we know it's going to cause us?
Why fight this battle? Why do we have Doge then?
If we know it's going to cause us problems down the road in 6 months when we're trying to get our feet under us and really get going. Why are we going to fight this fight? Why don't we just let them do it now? It's going to be there. We're not going to touch it. Hopefully, maybe the plan is we don't have to worry about it because we're never going to hit it. But at least we take that battle out of the fight.
This is why I came back to the show, just to see Damon's reactions to
No,
this.
but I'm happy he has this opinion. I mean, I just couldn't disagree any more than possible.
Right. I'm just trying
because we should be taking it into the Trump administration and then not raising it.
No, I understand that.
Well, so then why would you preemptively raise it when you have the opportunity to do just that?
Take perhaps he's trying to trick him, sir.
Because, like I said, because I think it's more mental than anything. It's like the Dreamers deal, right? They kept complaining. We want Dreamer. We need 800,000 Dreamers. We need something passed to make sure that these people are taken care of. And he offered them 1.8 million Dreamers plus a border deal, and they turned it down. Why? Because they knew it would take it off the table. They knew if they agreed to that deal, then they couldn't beat him up on immigration.
Right, but that's not the situation here, because the situation is they're just going to raise it. He's calling for it to be raised.
I understand that.
Which they have the votes to do if he pushes that.
But I'm saying you just remove it. Get rid of it now, and you don't have to worry about it later.
Oh, okay. So raise it and then call for Doge and then
second base.
More of a mental thing. I think it's more of a mental thing. It's a psychology thing.
Okay,
Paul would know.
I think that's literally insane.
So it's like a double reverse with a pitch, or it's like being a team that like goes down 21-0 to lull a team into a false sense of security, so you can pounce on them.
Yeah, the old prevent defense.
Yeah. I mean, that is no different than all of the people for all these years who voted for all this crap. Now saying, oh, I want to be a part of Doge, like Joni Ernst, like John Cornyn, like all of them.
Can't beat them, John.
I want to be part of Doge. Oh, really? Didn't you vote for all this crap the last 10 years? Yup. Weren't you the arsonist who lit the fire? Yup. Here, let me blow out the match. Watch this. Oh, now I got a water hose. I got a water can over here, though. I'm going to show you how to put it out. Oh, great. So we're going to raise the debt ceiling preemptively. In the Biden administration, and then the Trump administration, we're going to be like, oh, geez, what do we do about all this spending? What are we going to do about all this debt? Really? That's the position. That's the position we're taking as the party now.
That's assuming you're going to add to that debt.
Or they want to let them have the debt, so the debt is even bigger. So when they roll it back, it's better numbers when they start balancing the budget.
Does everybody realize that if this had not exploded today, that the spending in this CR was an increase over Pelosi and Schumer baseline that created all the inflation? What was going to pass tonight was an increase over Pelosi and Schumer spending. That's what the Republicans were going to vote for. If this hadn't exploded the way it did in the last 12 hours, and Elon take the position he took over the last 12 hours, this is what the party was willing to vote for. The idea that we're going to preemptively give up on the debt ceiling is such an argument from the left, when what Elon and Vivek are trying to do with Doge is always coming from the right. It just defies logic that this is the position we would take. Preemptively give up on the fight that we've always said this is the fight to have. This is what we're going to stand behind. Here's the 12 appropriations bills. This is what's going to pass. This is what we believe in. This is what we're going to go message to the American people. Now the position is going to be, oh, let's let Biden do it, because somehow people are going to be like, oh, no. In the next 4 years, go, oh, no, that debt ceiling raise was in December if Biden was still in there. People don't even think Biden's alive anymore.
No, but again,
including people who work for him.
The argument isn't that it's a good thing. The argument is to get it out of the way. Don't make it an issue when it doesn't have to be. If you never plan on spending the $25,000 that they give you on this credit card, you just have it there for safety reasons, and you put it in the drawer and you never use it, maybe that's the idea. You know what I mean?
I think the silence speaks for itself.
That means you're not understanding what I'm saying. It's almost like an insurance
invasion
policy.
of the body snatchers is did Mitch McConnell put on a Rick Delgado mask?
No, I'm just saying, why go tangling with the stupid debt ceiling thing that most of the country doesn't truly understand?
Maybe because it's the most important legislative thing we can do to stop the spending?
According to you. But most Americans don't understand it. They're too busy living their lives. They're like, what is this? They're going to shut down the government again? What? I thought we got Trump so we wouldn't have this problem. Again, you take that out of the headlines. You put it away. Because now that credit card is in the cabinet, you're never going to use it. That's the plan.
Okay, that's the plan.
That's my plan.
Okay.
Sometimes you have to dip into it, but then you pay it off right away before the 0% interest starts.
Okay, 39 past the hour. Let's do some news with the man with the plan, the master plan. That would be Rick Delgado here with the news. News brought to you by Freedom Force Nutrition, of course, available live from Studio6B.com. Delgado, what's going on?
He's a crackerjacker, right?
Well, of course, the big story today was the CR, which got killed. President-elect Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance slammed the continuing resolution before Congress and told the Republicans to call the Democrats' bluff on the government shutdown. The most foolish and inept thing ever done by congressional Republicans was allowing our country to hit the debt ceiling in 2025. It was a mistake and is now something that must be addressed, the statement posted to Vance's X account. See, even Vance on board with this. Who knows? Who knows what their thinking is behind this? But I'm just giving you an idea of what it could be. Congress has until, of course, December 20th to pass a stopgap to fund the government until March of next year. But, of course, if you listened to or saw any of the footage out there today, people like Anna Paulina Luna and Thomas Massey were out and about. Here's Anna Paulina Luna out of Florida, cut number 2, with her take on the CR. Cut number 2.
The fact is that, look, this is a sandwich. I don't know how else to say that. We're being forced into this position. They could have done a standalone. They did this because they knew that it would put members in this position to support it. We're damned if we do. We're damned if we don't.
Yeah. Also, Vivek Ramaswamy was out there. We have a clip from him we'll play a little later. And cut number 3 from one of our favorites here on the show, Thomas Massey, on something we hit upon a little bit earlier, that cost of living increase for Congress. This is cut number 3. Check this out.
Do you think that members of Congress should be giving themselves, lawmakers should be giving themselves adjusted cost of living pay increases when it's their policies that make inflation so bad and we all don't get to do that in our day-to-day lives, but they can? Shouldn't that be an incentive for them to spend less money?
You know, it would be better if it was just called a raise, but they call it cost of living, right? Cost of living adjustment. Well, who increased the cost of living? Congress did by spending all of this money, trillions of dollars during COVID, in the money cannon. We monetized our debt. We loaned ourselves the money after we printed it. And that cost of living that has increased, it's because of us. So I might be willing to go to bat for a pay raise if we had done our jobs, if we hadn't actually increased the cost of living. It should almost be like a negative cost of living adjustment. Whatever the cost of living goes up while you're in office, your pay should go down. So you're incentivized not to have a cost of living increase for the American people.
Yep. Exactly.
The only real libertarian in the government.
Yeah. And again, both Trump and Vance called on Republicans to be tough, to call the Democrats' bluff regarding the potential government shutdown. The statement read, Republicans must get smart and tough. The Democrats threaten to shut down the government unless we give them everything they want. Well, then call their bluff. It is Schumer and Biden who are holding up aid to our farmers and disaster relief. Congressman Andy Biggs predicted that the stopgap bill gets scrapped. It will likely be replaced by a clean continuing resolution, which, from what I understand, is not that clean anyway. So there's some danger to that. And what about the 12 different pieces that they were going to do separately? I would think that that's a lot easier to do now that you've got this conundrum where they all want to go home for the holidays, but they don't want to stick around DC. So it could be a good leverage point in terms of applying pressure to get these things voted on.
They can do a clean CR with whatever they need to send to North Carolina and Georgia in disaster relief.
Exactly.
They've got 33 days. Shut the government down for 33 days if we had to. I understand the argument about disaster relief going to these places, and if they can get that done, then they should. But 33 days, shut the government down. We've talked about this umpteen times in the last 10 years. We've gone through exactly what shuts down, how it works. No, the world does not end. No, the government does not end. And guess what? Everything that gets shut down, they all get their pay once it starts again. So this whole scare gaslighting on the government shutdown, we don't have time to go through the whole thing again. But it's about 17% of the government that shuts down. Everybody will survive. We will all go on. I mean, look at the last 4 years. We've had no president and vice president, and we've been just fine.
Zero.
All right, 43 past the hour. We're back. More sports and news coming up right after this. chat. What's going on, chat? Shut it down, Otto. Exactly.
Shut it down.
That's the damn truth, Damon. Yeah.
Up my government.
This is why I so fervently disagree with Delgado's position. We have so very few leverage points as a party. So very few leverage points to actually assert leverage over the things we want change on. To give up the biggest one preemptively is got to be one of the strangest things I have ever heard in my life. You have so very few points to lean on as Congress with the margins we have to give up the biggest one preemptively to say, well, I just don't want to deal with it, so let's do it under his thing so he can take the blame, is one of the more idiotic arguments I've ever heard. That's what they want to do. How do you expect to cut spending? How do you expect to slash things if you don't ever have any leverage to say this is the same argument as the government shutdown? When you act like you're more afraid of the shutdown than you are the spending, they go, well, they're not going to do anything, so what are we going to give in for? Hakeem, don't worry about it. You don't need to give them anything. Do you think they're going to actually stand up and shut the government down? Have you watched them for 20 years? They're not going to do anything. As a matter of fact, if we hold out long enough, they'll raise the debt ceiling themselves, Hakeem. Don't you worry. Crazy. That's lunacy.
You say it's
that
lunacy,
makes the drones look normal.
But for some reason, they think it's a good idea. And the fact that maybe we don't know the intricacies of why they think that is, and maybe they see something coming down the road that they know is going to affect some of the policies. Maybe that's why they're like, let's get this out of the way because we don't want it to become a problem later.
I'm having a very nice time.
There's zero anything coming down the road that makes that a good idea.
And you thought
we got to get Massey. We're going to get Massey on. I'm going to get Massey on. We're going to get Massey on the program tomorrow night.
He'd be good.
It'll be me and Delgado and him, or me and him versus Delgado. I'm assuming he's going to absolutely have the same position I have. Oh, we can't tomorrow night.
What about Friday?
Here's the kielbasa.
All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B. Welcome back in on a Wednesday night. Glad you're part of the show. Slick Rick's doing sports. Rick Delgado's got the news. Paul Nolan has some news as well. Mr. Nolan. So let's get into your theory on drones and what you think is really going on here.
For me, I'm not sure, but my first reaction is that this is really just a distraction. And a distraction from all the news we see in the media, right? Like now the next big psyop. I mean, to me, it's the normalization of all this, interference in our airspace. America's really never been attacked on our soil, like in terms of a full-blown war. Obviously, we know about Pearl Harbor and 9/11. We're not talking about that. I'm talking about the awareness of a war. For me, when I try to look at this thing objectively, I took a pile of notes on how I see this thing playing out, but it looks like all the other situations we see where they just pummel the news cycle. We hear the same buzzwords. We hear the same rhetoric from the Pentagon and from local politicians and all the nonsense we hear. We're legitimately getting nothing, but it's so normalized. So to me, I have no idea. I don't have anywhere near enough information to say it's this, that, or the other thing definitively. All I know is we're being distracted from something else and we're being conditioned for something that's coming in the future. So I really don't have a whole lot for you. I don't know. But all I know is the two things I want to know out of this. The two big questions I have is, will this expand the government's control, and will it justify new laws that hurt the American people's liberty and freedom? That's what I'm thinking. Where is it going? What's it for? What's the point of any of these psyops? Like if you look today,
I guess the one thing I would not push back, but ask you, given, and I understand what you're saying, but but the government doesn't seem to be using this in any way to start. They're doing the opposite. They're saying, there's nothing even here. This is totally normal. These are just guys who went to the Apple store and bought their new early Christmas presents and just all decided to fly them. There's nothing nefarious. It's all legal. There's 1 million drones registered with the FAA. So all of you are freaking out about nothing. Like they seem to be doing the opposite of what you'd think they'd be doing if they were using this to push an agenda, or I don't see that.
I feel like it's in the normalization stage when Mayorkas says, you can go down to the local convenience store and get a 6-pack of Huggies and a 12-foot drone. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the normalization phase. There are different phases of PSYOPs. When they want it normalized, look, what do we keep hearing on social media, too? The people within the tinfoil hat areas, what do we keep hearing about, Rick, right?
Yeah.
Project Bluebeam.
Yep.
We keep hearing about the normalization of UAPs. We keep hearing about the last 3 years. We keep hearing about UFOs. We keep hearing about these unidentified objects. Now we're hearing about this, these UFOs are hiding out under oceans and deep waters that are undetectable. We see pilots coming out talking about this thing made a move that was just toyed with us. It knew exactly. It moved 400 meters in a millisecond. So to me, in the past, the government and the news and the CIA mouthpieces would never talk about UFOs. Are they at the point right now where they believe that we're conditioned enough to say, all right, this is normal, they're going to release something big? To me, I keep thinking, my tinfoil hat keeps buzzing, because I think that the deep state and the players who've made so much money, who are so criminal, who've so embedded in so many crooked deals, are now fretting at the possibility, soiling themselves, and Kash Patel and people like that who are going to go full ballistic against the criminals in D.C. are going to now finally have some comeuppance. I keep fearing that they will provoke World War III before that Trump takes office. They have 37 days, and all we keep doing is blowing up and everything we can. We keep picking a fight with Russia. You guys saw the Russian general who was talking out about the COVID vaccines 2 years ago. We played him on the show. He was vocal about the evidence that he had. He brought it to the UN on many occasions. This is a guy who's been standing on top of every mountaintop he can, screaming about how much evidence has that the U.S. and the big pharma created this thing, and now he gets whacked.
Yep.
And now they're blaming the Ukrainians, or the Ukrainians are saying it. Some people are saying the CIA wants credit for it. There's a lot going on here, and that's another provocation of Putin, and they keep pushing him to the brink. We see what's going on. They're going after Syria. If you know what the PNAC doctrines are, I would love to know, people in the chat know what the Project for the New American Century was. This has been the neocons' game plan since the 60s. What's her name? Newland. I sent you a clip where, Newland is knee deep in this nonsense again over there. And, you look at the history of her family and her connections to the neocons who wrote that document. So to me, I think when Reuters, Wall Street Journal, Politico, Washington Times all have headlines today, we are on the brink of World War III, or we're in World War III, tells you that they're conditioning us for that as well. They're normalizing what's coming next. What was it? Forbes had an article, we are in World War III, businesses start to prepare. Read here. So I'm concerned about the whole thing.
All right, 7 minutes till the hour. We'll do more with Paul Nolan in hour 2. Let's do a little sports while we have some time left here before we hit the break. And here with sports, brought to you by Mike Lindell and Mypillow. LFS6B is the promo code to use. Is Slick Rick. Slickster, what's going on?
Well, Big D, two of the swiftest minds in football are weighing in on all this drone dilemma. Travis and Jason Kelsey, you see what I did there, revealed their thoughts on who they think is behind mystery drones. Dylan Gwynn of Breitbart reporting. If you tuned into the most recent episode of the New Heights podcast with Travis and Jason Kelsey, hoping to find level-headed and reasoned opinions on the East Coast mystery drone sightings, you pretty much got that. No one go crazy. Everyone keep calm. They're just drones, Travis said. What are they doing? We don't know. Somebody's just bleeping around in their backyard. Jokingly attempting to swerve the conversation back to the paranormal, Jason asked, do they have weapons? No. Can they hurt us? No. Panic. Jason added, I don't know what they're looking for or what they're trying to find, but they're searching for something. The Super Bowl champion brothers continued jokingly attributing the drones to alien invasion. Sounds like your world, Delgado.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Still, they ultimately agreed.
Was Delgado their guest on the show that week?
Yeah, probably. But still, they ultimately agreed that spreading conspiracy theories was a path they didn't want to go down. The aliens
sounds like it, clearly.
The aliens are among us, the Pentagon said it. Travis said, no, they're not aliens. They said it was aliens. Jason countered, dude, ask Dad. He's been on the satellites. Dude, he heard him. Dad. Travis insisted. Jason is right. The Pentagon did not say the drone sightings were aliens. As of now, the Pentagon has only said that the drones do not belong to them, nor they belong to a foreign power.
Yeah, Travis, call Uncle Kevin.
Yeah. Well, neither one of those guys are too swift.
They don't belong to a foreign power, and they don't belong to us. Okay.
Oh, man. So, and some sad news in the sports world, actually. Well, here we go. Hunter dies when bear falls from tree after being shot and lands on him. Not funny, it's terrible. Or Hawkins of Breitbart. A Virginia hunter is dead after a bear shot by one of his fellow hunters fell out of a tree and landed on him. CBS News reported the incident Tuesday, noting that it occurred on December 9th. The incident unfolded as a group of hunters were tracking a bear and it ran up a tree. One of the hunters then shot the animal and it fell on 58-year-old Lester C. Harvey. Harvey was transported to a hospital in serious but stable condition, then succumbed to his injuries. KSBY reported. It's terrible.
What was the guy thinking?
Why was he standing under the tree where the bear was?
Yeah, I guess both of them. What were they thinking?
Probably in his tree stand.
Yeah, the Post pointed that a bear hunter in North Carolina was injured in 2019 when a bear that had been shot fell out of a tree and began biting the hunter. A little different situation. Consequently, bear and hunter tumbled off a cliff, leaving the hunter hospitalized and the bear dead. Well, it's serious stuff, but really so sad because the Post reported that Harvey was a married father of 5 with 8 grandchildren. So just a terrible story. We wish him and his family, well by all means. So sad story. That's a wrap.
All right, it's quick hour 1, hour 2 coming back live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday night. Glad you're in. We're back right after this. All right, chat, what's going on?
Chat.
Julia, child of God. Yeah, it's terrible, terrible tragedy.
Of course.
We have batteries.
Kentucky Hill Jill, Dave had Damon cracking up this morning. Yes, you all had me cracking up this morning. That was fun. Actually. I'd say screw the news. We're just going to do that from now on. I'll name that tune in one instrument. Damon, we have a birthday today. Joanne, Ohio.
Oh, I love Joanne, Ohio.
So bad.
In the Getter chat.
You were reading.
Oh, yeah.
He was reading. I'm trying to get out of it.
She's good people.
Damon, you want your cigars or what? That guy on YouTube, I'm not sure what that means. You want your cigars?
Oh, yeah. He was one of the, he was a super chat. And he said, I said that I like cigars. I said I didn't smoke, but you were like, I do. You said you wanted cigars. That was in the super chat. Yeah. That guy in YouTube.
He was going to send them?
I don't know, but that's probably what he's referring to, because he did ask if I smoked cigars. He had done a super chat last week for my dad, and maybe he's following up with you because you like cigars. You like them.
I remember that, but I must have missed the. If that's in fact what he's saying.
Yeah, it was that puff piece we did.
Dude, by the way, when you said neither of them are too swift, no one got that. That was good.
Yeah, that was a good one. I said was the two swiftest minds in the NFL football. Oh man,
Damon, answer my damn email I sent you the other day. I didn't get it.
Oh man,
he wrote.
Come on, man.
Oh, come on, that sounds like cyberbullying.
That guy is pretty ticked off.
Resend it. Oh, he did it on the website. Oh, just do it to lfsxp@yahoo.com. The website that needs some work. lfsxp@yahoo.com. Send it there. Website gets too many. You can't even get through them all. Damon, I'm being attacked by drones, Jersey Shore.
Oh, there you go.
All right, live from Studio 6B, 9 p.m. on the East Coast. Glad you're in. Slick Rick's doing sports. Rick Delgado's doing the news. Paul Nolan sitting in with the boys. Fran and Brianna holding it down in the booth. Glad you're in on a Wednesday night. Much to do here in hour 2. We'll get to sports with Slick. We'll get to news with Delgado here in a second. Talked a little bit about this, about the CR and where we are. Not all fantastic. Obviously, we have some things to work out. I don't understand, as I said, the positioning that we're taking now on this debt ceiling, but we'll see what unfolds in the next 24 hours. More with that. I think I'm already seeing some conservatives having the same issues that I have, and I think as more and more start to think about it. I said this in the break. I'll say it now that we're back. The Republicans have so very few leverage points to be able to use, to be able to exert leverage to get an outcome that is actually beneficial to us in the things we supposedly believe in. And the spending fight that we have gone through since even going back to the Tea Party, there's so very few leverage points we have to be able to assert. And that doesn't even account for the spineless lamos that mostly represent us in the party that we can't. I mean, that's a whole nother issue to get by. But the fact that we have such thin majorities, we have such thin-skinned people in charge, like the Speaker of the House, who I warned us before he was even the Speaker, that we would look back in a few months, now it's been more than a few months, it's probably been 8 months, and think that we're probably worse off then than we were back then with McCarthy. And that's almost undeniable at this point that that's the case. At least McCarthy was against sending more money to Ukraine. This guy's been all for it since day one. But this guy has had cover from the president running for him, and so he continues to be the speaker and continues to let us down. And make no mistake about it, he would have given you up again today in a heartbeat. This is essentially his bill, as Josh Hawley points out today. He wrote it. It's his bill. He was going to push it. And he had no problem stabbing you all in the back again. Barely removed from the election. Like, doesn't even remember it happened. Tying the president's hand behind his back before he even gets in there. To even think that they would contemplate anything other than a clean CR what is mind-blowing this morning. Now, obviously, we're in a different position now, thanks to Elon, thanks to Vivek. And the president and J.D. Vance came along, too. But I just saw this clip I watched during the break of J.D. Vance walking around the halls of Congress tonight saying, well, no, our position now is we want a clean CR with a debt ceiling increase.
Oh, boy.
I mean, I don't know who's telling them that's the position they should take. But to my original point, we have so few leverage points to be able to say no until we get some offsetting cuts to the spending you want to do, or we get some real fiscal sanity. We are not going to continue omnibuses. We are not going to continue raising the debt ceiling. And we are not afraid of the consequences. So we're giving up now preemptively our biggest leverage point. I just don't understand. So again, overall, is it a good 12 hours? Absolutely. Just like conservatives when they spoke up against the Chronister guy from Florida for DEA, good. People listened. People spoke up. We should be speaking up against the labor secretary. And we absolutely should have spoken up in the last 2 days, 24 hours specifically, which we did with the help of some of the big voices in the party. But to do all of this, to then now say we're going to preemptively raise the debt ceiling is just pretty anti what Doge is trying to do, in my opinion. And some of the stuff, by the way, that was, again, some of the stuff that was in the CR that your Speaker of the House was willing to let go through, a couple of the things we pointed out last night, besides the spending, I shared a couple things on our Twitter, but the, I mean, some of it is absolutely insane. Talk about the, what Schellenberger and Matt Taibbi reported on all last year. This Department of Department of Censorship.
Mm-hmm. That was also funded in there. They were going to extend that for another year through the State Department.
That was going to get funded.
There was also a clip in there. I don't know if you saw this. I found this on Twitter Twix. Another section there for more biolabs. You know those biolabs that didn't exist?
12 of them, I believe, was the number.
Yes.
Yep.
They had more biolabs. They had more money for the for Obamacare, which I thought was doing so great. You don't need to fund something that's doing so great. Oh, that's right, because it's not.
Neither affordable nor care.
Right.
$3 million to test molasses at U.S. ports of entry.
I'm sorry?
You heard me. $3 million to test molasses at U.S. ports of entry.
Yes.
Lifts of pay raise freeze on congressmen and women. $7.5 million to audit the money they've already given away.
Bunch of saps.
$40 million for D.C. security. $50 million for the inauguration security. $102.5 million for the Coast Guard to patrol the Francis Scott Key Bridge, which, by the way, collapsed.
Yeah.
$399 million for the new Hurricane Hunter aircraft. $12 billion in Biden bucks for housing giveaways. $153 million for Indian education, plus $18 million for Indian affairs. $6.4 billion for the Forest Service. $740 million to fix NASA disaster damage, including minor damage from Hurricane Milton. $67 million for prison repairs due to disaster damage. $8 billion for bridges, including $2 billion for the Francis Scott Key Bridge, which is, by the way, privately owned, privately collects tolls, but you're on the hook, I guess, to rebuild it and take care of it. $3.4 billion for DOD repairs. $13 million for salaries related to Supreme Court security, $12 million more for Supreme Court Justice resident security, $29 billion for FEMA, $3.3 billion for the EPA, including $3 billion for clean water grants. Republicans are, for the most part, for the green energy scam as much as Democrats are. Don't let them ever tell you that they're not. $33.5 billion for the Department of Agriculture. $30.8 billion for vague disaster relief with no clear, just very vague. And $6 billion for Columbia-class submarine operations. That's part of DOD.
Oh, and don't forget about this one. A new stadium for D.C. so they could lure the Commanders back.
Yeah, $3 billion.
Yeah. New stadium.
Yeah, I'd like to chip in for that.
Yeah, why not?
And this is what the Speaker of the House was hoping that he could slide by with. Just like we always do at this time of the year, in which he specifically back, and I believe it was, September or so, September 24th to be exact, he he said this.
Which isn't much.
No, I guess it's not much. Do we have audio here? No. Okay, we're not getting any audio
I
from
can read
me.
his lips if you want.
Well, basically, it doesn't mean, basically he says we're not going back to the Christmas omnibus. We have no intention of going back to that terrible tradition. And guess what? Here we are.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, amazing. Oh, and just to highlight something you mentioned earlier, Kevin McCarthy was all for Ukrainian funding. He had a secret deal with Biden, and it was reported up and down between CNN, Politico, Axios, Reuters, The Hill, you name it. Everybody was talking about this secret deal that he made with Biden for his Ukraine funding. So it's not like the Ukraine funding wasn't going to happen. It was either we were going to know about it or we weren't going to know about it. So just to add that bit of context there, because let's face it. These guys are all in on the never-ending wars. And speaking about being all in, if you're in on the Dow today, you're all in on an 1,100-point drop. The Dow sank deeper into the history books earlier today, with the index posting its 10th straight losing day as a disappointing rate outlook by the Federal Reserve. They also Powell also mentioned, Damon, that he's taking 2 rate cuts off the table for next year.
Of course he is. If you look at the way the Federal Reserve treated Trump during his presidency, they didn't give him, they beat him down with the money supply, and everything they did for Biden was all to his advantage. It's the Fed is a corrupt organization that is fully hell bent on the globalist agenda. So, we won't see. You'll see resistance from the Fed against Trump. He will be an enemy of the Federal Reserve. There's no doubt Trump's going to have to go head to head with them.
Like I said, the Dow lost 1,123.03 points, or 2.58%, for its worst losing streak in an 11-day slide since 1974. The decline was the worst since August, and only the second time it's lost 1,000 points this year in one session. The central bank reduced its overnight borrowing rate by a quarter point to the target range of 4.2 to 4.5 as expected. However, the Fed indicated it would only cut rates twice, like I just said, in 2025, fewer than the 4 cuts it had forecast earlier from Fed Chair Jerome Powell. So you had that happening today. And I don't know if you saw this. Get your hankies out. Wisconsin has been identified as the first human case of bird flu. The Wisconsin Department of Health Services announced today that it detected a presumptive positive human case of the highly pathogenic avian flu A, or H5N1, in Barron County in Wisconsin. Barron County, located in the northwestern part of the state, close to about an hour and 45 minutes outside of Minneapolis. Wisconsin DHS said the human case followed an infected flock of commercial poultry in the same county. The person who contracted the disease had contact with the flock. So the DHS and Barron County Health and Human Services are monitoring farm workers who are exposed and informing them of how to protect themselves and their health. And DHS said the risk to the general public in Wisconsin is currently very low. Bird flu has also been found in parts of Wisconsin closer to Chicago, though not with any human cases. You remember bird flu, H1, what are they calling this? H1N1, whatever. That was what Dr. Hotez was talking about coming down the pike. It's going to start, I think, January 21st, he said. It's amazing how he knows that these things are going to happen and when they're supposed to happen. The news from Wisconsin came the same day as a person in Louisiana was confirmed to have the first severe illness caused by bird flu in the U.S. This person was found to have had exposure to sick and dead birds in backyard flocks, though an investigation into the source of the infection in the state is ongoing. But that's what we're getting out of the next wave of pandemic that they're trying to plan for us, Damon. Wisconsin with the first human case of bird flu.
All right, 13 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Glad you're in on a Wednesday night. More sports to do coming up right after this.
It's like a cute story. So, I mean, I could set that up if you have the clip. I think it's cute. Guess she was on the course with the guys. It's actually, I see it on Twitter or X. Yeah.
I did see a clip, I think, yesterday.
Yeah, it's 22 seconds. Nuclear golf. I just think it's cute. They're really taking the golf world by storm. Last couple of days. Maybe that's good. Maybe he's going to use golf as one of his big platforms. Well, he's going to use golf as one of his platforms. He already does. Iowa's retiring Jersey, Caitlin Clark. She's going to take that game over the next 2 years. Kind of already is, as far as numbers. You can imagine what her off season looks like, right? Training. I'm sure she is. Yeah. Yeah, she's another. NBA.
Chat, what's going on?
NBA.
Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, follow, whatever platform you're on.
NBA may have to take some of these girls.
Racing Banshee on X.
Their ratings are dropping.
What's going on? Hope I'm not interrupting. You're not interrupting?
Never.
Not at all. Just trying to figure out how many reads I have now.
Oh, it's that time already.
We figured out that it's only 12.
The highlight of Big D's night.
So little things. Did you guys see the couple little like local news, like the San Francisco's new health department hires a weight stigma specialist? That's some story. Good Lord. Did you see in Pennsylvania, I think it was Pittsburgh, there's going to be loans only for minorities starting businesses?
I saw that. That is insane.
It's so racist.
That is reverse racism. Hands down. I saw that. I saw that a little while ago. That came out a little while ago. I've been talking to my wife about that.
Sounds like the blues. 17 past the hour. On a Wednesday night, live from Studio 6B. Glad you're in. The blues means I got to read something to you. And of course, let me talk to you about our friends over at My Patriot Supply. Time is running short. New administration coming in. Crunch time is here. But as great as that is, that also means our enemies have days left to try to stir up trouble. Cyber attacks, invasions, nuclear strikes. You're hearing about it all. Nuclear waste gone missing. So until the longtime bureaucrats are out of Washington, you shouldn't be taking any chances. That's why you need to have an emergency food supply from My Patriot Supply. Right now, they're offering $100 off their 3-month emergency food kit. It's got 2,000 calories per day for 3 whole months. Plenty to get you through even a prolonged emergency. All their food lasts up to 25 years in storage. Plus, they come in rugged, weatherproof buckets. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com right now to order your 3-month emergency food kit. Got emergency food supply in your home because your safety and security is worth it. Go right now, MyPatriotSupply.com to order your 3-month emergency food kit. MyPatriotSupply.com. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com. Well, let me talk to you about our friends at Birch Gold. Increased tariffs, our trade partners, tax cuts, regulation changes. This is why gold is always a viable diversification tactic, and really now more than ever. Birch Gold's the only company you can trust that's releasing their ultimate guide for gold in the Trump era with a foreword by Donald Trump Jr. To get your free copy, along with Birch Gold's free information kit on gold, Text the word America to the number 989898. Here's the facts. The national debt continues to increase. Our interest payments on the national debt continue to increase. Gold is still your hedge against a weakened dollar. And Birch Gold is still the company you should trust to convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in gold. So text the word America to 989898 for your free copy of the ultimate guide for gold in the Trump era. This is no obligation, only information with an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, countless 5-star reviews, thousands of satisfied customers. You can trust Birch Gold as well. Text America to the number 989898. That's America. Send it to the number 989898. Do it today. All right, 19 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Glad you're in on a Wednesday. Let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell, Mypillow. LFS6B is the promo code to use. If you're shopping still at Mypillow for the holidays, or maybe you're going to a post-Christmas party next weekend, and you still need to get something, you can still get it in time. Go to mypillow.com, mypillow.com/LFS6B. All the best deals for this audience right there on our own page. LFS6B is the promo code to use. Slick's got sports. What's going on?
All right, Big D, update on that NCAA football. It's all over in the Boca Raton Bowl. James Madison has pulled the game out 27-17 over Western Kentucky. And the Art of Sport LA Bowl at SoFi Stadium just underway. UNLV, no score against California, and UNLV is the 3.5-point favorite there. 11.5 to go there in the first quarter, Big D. Let's get to the ice, get you an update on the NHL. Right now, the Red Wings edging the Flyers 5-4 as they're winding down the third period. 4 minutes to go there. End of two, the Maple Leafs 4-2 over the Stars down in American Airlines Arena in Dallas. We got the Panthers and Wild coming up at 9:30. Puck drop in just about 9 minutes out west. And we got the Canucks and the Utah Hockey Club 10 p.m. puck drop, as is the Jets in Anaheim to take on the Mighty Ducks there. That would be the Ducks, of course, at 10 p.m. puck drop there. NBA, no games tonight. I tell you, the NBA's having a lot of issues. Their ratings are way down. I'm going to run that story tomorrow night or next time I'm on, and we definitely want to have that on because the NBA is not doing well.
Monday, I really wanted to pump that Popovich story.
Oh, yeah, Greg Popovich, the Spurs coach. Yeah.
He's nuts.
He's a jerk.
He looked like Keith Olbermann's sad little sister.
Yep, exactly. He's really lost his mind. And Trump's granddaughter on the golf course today pokes fun at Tiger Woods while asking Scotty Scheffler about PGA Championship rest. I was just saying in the break, the Trump family taking the golf world by storm. Grandpa's got a mobile golf game, and granddaughter on the course doing sports. And I heard she's a heck of a golfer too, Big D. I know we've had a few times had her on the show. But Scheffler, who was arrested in May just before the second round of the PGA Championship, and this is Paulina Dadaj reporting from Fox Sports. Kai Trump, the granddaughter of President-elect Trump, had a little fun on the golf course when she interviewed two-time Master winner Scotty Scheffler during the LIV PGA Showdown on yesterday. We have that clip, Big D. You can roll that.
Here today with
Scotty Scheffler.
And Scotty, you're too nice, but how was jail?
Honestly, it was a bit boring. There's not really much to do in there. I was in a cell by myself and just kind of sitting there looking at the walls, so it was a little boring.
I mean, orange is not a bad color, though, on you, so you pulled it off, just like Tiger Woods.
I prefer the burnt orange a little bit more than the jail cell orange, but yeah.
For sure today.
There you go.
Scotty's a big name, but Kai, who's captivated golf fans with her vlogs on YouTube following Trump's successful bid for the White House, then made a lighthearted joke at the expense of Tiger Woods, who had his own run-in with the law in 2017. I mean, orange is not a bad color, though, on you. Honestly, you pulled it off like Tiger Woods, she joked. Scheffler quite back. I prefer the burnt orange a little more than the jail cell orange.
Yeah.
We saw it.
Yeah, it was the clip we just ran, right? Yeah. I'm trying to follow the story here. I tell you.
He's so cute.
Let's go. Hold on. I got time for one more story. Yeah, I do.
Right, all the time in the world.
Stephen A. I don't have all the time in the world. Don't tell me that. I'll be here all night talking about sports. Stephen A. Smith blasts critics angry at him for criticizing Dems. You got your what's kicked. This is Dylan Gwynn at Breitbart. ESPN Stephen A. Smith has made a career out of criticism and commentary, but now some of that criticism has gotten him in trouble with the leftists. Still salty over the 2024 election, and we talked about Monday. Smith addressed the criticism from the left he took over the number of elections. Joe Biden, they caught him sleeping at an African conference in Angola, Smith said. Donald Trump's wide awake back to the White House. Peggy Noonan, an outstanding columnist for the Wall Street Journal, wrote about the precedents that exist with a president-elect who's usually chilling. They're normally only making news when there are headlines announcing their cabinet members. Yet Donald Trump is walking around like he's the president now. In France recently for the reopening, what is it? The Notre Dame Cathedral, talking to President Volodymyr Zelensky for Ukraine, no doubt. President Vladimir Putin for Russia, talking to Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu with the Israel conflict. So look at what's happening every time there is substantive stuff at the talk in the world of politics. Donald Trump's name is the headline instead of President Joe Biden. You all lost, the Democrats. You lost, and you got your what's kicked in every imaginable way. So Stephen A. is still salty over that Donald Trump taking over. He continues to run the Democrats up and down the poll. That's a wrap in sports.
All right, Slick, very good. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the code to use if you shop there. Let's do some quick news, then we'll do some news when we get back with both Delgado and with Paul Nolan. Delgado, what's going on?
All right, well, this quick little story, I guess is news-related. It's an ex-NBA player found dead in Moscow after criticism of playing in Putin's Russia. What a surprise. Russians are falling from the sky. We've seen this story way too many times.
Who is it?
It's a former Memphis Grizzly and Orlando Magic forward named Janis Timma. He was found dead outside the apartment building on Monday. Local reports in Russia stated that Timma's body was found at the residential building in central Moscow with no criminal leads being pursued. Well, why would they be? Timma's death came on the 42nd birthday of his partner and Russian singer who recently filed for divorce. He was part of the 2013 NBA drafts where the Grizzlies used their final pick to acquire his services. He played a little bit. I guess he was traded to the Magic in 2015.
What did he say?
I don't know, but he's been playing basketball now. He's Ukrainian, and then he moved to Russia with his girlfriend. I guess he had some problems playing in Russia. And I guess he said something salty about President Putin. And you know what happens when you talk about President Putin, and he don't like it.
All right, 26 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. More news coming up. Glad you're in on a Wednesday night.
And we're back in the chat.
On the chat. Yep. San Francisco's Department of Public Health has reportedly hired a fat acceptance body positive activist.
Can I get sound on the laptop, friend?
The media influence.
What media are you talking about that's anti-Trump?
You're not familiar with the anti-Trump media?
You're not familiar with the fact that you guys control for everything
of
from
all the
podcasts?
things I've heard you say out here, that might be the nuttiest.
Scott,
believe me, there's plenty of anti-Trump media.
She's trying to pay you.
What media do you speak of that anti-Trump,
That's
she
the
said?
Stuff we should be watching. That's funny.
Oh, my God.
Is that Jennings again?
Yeah, what's the lunatic on CNN?
Gavin Newsom has declared a state of emergency in California, huh?
Oh, yeah?
Over the bird flu.
Here we go.
Here we go. This is how it started last time.
Yep. Exactly how it started.
Yep.
We can't have the inauguration now. We need.
See that woman out in Smithtown got busted with $40 million of fake swag?
No. Oh, yeah.
You bought from? What'd you buy from?
Was that a couple
weeks ago, I think. Right?
Was it? I thought it was a couple days ago, but I don't really know.
You know what? I saw it on News 12, so I figured it was probably a couple weeks old. That's usually when they get to news.
Really?
Oh, really?
Well, it just came up in my feed a couple days ago. $40 million.
Mm-hmm.
A pretty respectable neighborhood.
Yeah. That was the sales for the week.
Crazy.
All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday night. Glad you're in. Slick's doing sports. Rick Delgado's doing the news. Fran and Brianna holding it down in the booth. Paul Nolan sitting right next to me here. He's got some thoughts on some things going on in the news as well. I saw this headline over in our friends at PJ Media. Biden in steep decline. New York Times tries to portray him as a tragic figure. And I was thinking,
You mean a criminal?
defining of steep decline, because he was in steep decline like 4 years ago, if not more like 8 years ago was when the decline started. We've all seen it, and we've all been told that we're all nuts for having said we've seen it. The videos were deep fakes, and
he came into office a babbling, blithering fool.
Yeah.
Falling down and couldn't finish a sentence and couldn't do math, didn't remember the Constitution. Please, don't rewrite history.
And the premise of this article is one that I don't think many people are paying attention to or thinking about, but the opening line of it says, will America's 47th president actually turn out to be Donald Trump? Because it could be Kamala Harris. It could happen. National Security Council advisor Henry Appel was just caught on an undercover video saying that old Joe Biden was, quote unquote, like dead. Not literally. And on Tuesday, the New York Times published a massive 2,000-word elegy to the departing mouthpiece for the people in power entitled, A Weary Biden Heads for the Exit. Weary is an understatement. The New York Times, of course, as you would imagine, pulled out all the stops to paint old Joe as a tragic figure, but all it managed to do was to show yet again that the man in the Oval Office has absolutely no business being there, and that America dodged the bullet when Nancy Pelosi's coup ended in his re-election campaign. Not that the left doesn't have more assaults on our freedoms and national cohesion in the offing, but the old Joe's permanent retirement to his taxpayer-funded walled Delaware beach house couldn't come a moment too soon. We can all hope that Biden lasts until January 20th, even if only to spare us a month-long or less Kamala Harris presidency. Harris would have more energy than Biden, and a lot of damage could be done in a month's worth of time. The subheading on the lengthy Times article is illuminating in itself. Quote, still stinging from the election, President Biden is pushing for his final priorities, but has largely absented himself from the national conversation about Donald Trump after warning repeatedly that he was a threat to American democracy, end quote. Well, yes, he has. In fact, the Times doesn't mention it here, but Biden greeted Trump cordially at the White House and pledged to do all that he could to make a smooth transition. The most obvious explanation for why Biden has largely absented himself from the national conversation about Donald Trump after warning repeatedly that he was a threat to American democracy is not just his declining abilities, but that all the hysteria about how Trump was a threat to democracy was a steaming pile of nonsense from the get-go. And Biden and his handlers were well aware of that. Other than that, the Times article practically begs us to shed a tear for old Lunch Bucket Joe, but all it manages to elicit is a sigh of relief. Biden, we're told, looks a little older and a little slower with each passing day. I mean, that's like saying the Titanic doesn't look too good as half of it's underwater. Nevertheless, the paper of record can't break its old habit of covering for the punitive president's frequent incoherence and manifested dementia. And so it adds in, quote, aides say he remains plenty sharp in the Situation Room, calling world leaders to broker a ceasefire in Lebanon or deal with the chaos of Syria's rebellion. Yes, we've heard Biden is very sharp before. Haven't we heard that?
Yes.
Very energetic. Hard to keep up with. Top of his game. We heard it all.
It's the best Biden we've ever seen.
Best version of Biden we've ever seen.
Photographic memory.
Photographic memory. We've heard it all. Corinne Jean-Pierre telling us, I can't keep up with him. We can't keep up with him in his schedule. Well, the only thing that's hard to imagine, another, is the fact that this is the same New York Times that as recently as June 21st ran an article entitled, How Misleading Videos Are Trailing Biden as He Battles the Age Doubts.
Oh, yeah. That was at the George Clooney Gala event.
Yeah.
Obama's ushering him off the stage.
And what's funny is you mentioned that the what do you call it? The footage of this guy, Appel. James O'Keefe recorded that footage. We have a clip of it. You want to check it out real quick? This is cut number 1. You can see it for yourself as he confronts his national security advisor, Henry Appel, after he had already got the hidden camera footage, capturing him calling President Biden dead and claiming he can't say a sentence. Here's cut number 1.
At least the guy's truthful.
Check this out.
Henry Appel, National Security Council. Hi, I'm James O'Keefe, investigative reporter and muckraker. This is you on hidden camera. Cool. You're lucky I'm not a Chinese spy. You are a very lucky man that I'm not a Chinese spy. But I gotta ask you a question. What the hell is the guy who's an advisor to the National Security Council doing, spilling the quote tea to an undercover journalist?
Well, here's the tea. Joe Biden is like dead. We're trying to fund it.
What type of national security operation you boys running in the United States government? And you used to be a spy.
For a while, I thought I was going to be a spy. I thought I was going to be a spy. And I did that for a little while.
What type of spy are you? So where are you going?
What type
so we're
of
here in
spy
Washington
are you?
With the spy who works for the United States government, who's, quote, spilling the tea. Now, this is you talking about Biden being, quote, dead.
Joe Biden is like dead. He can't say a sentence.
Use it your
He's
words.
looking for a long pier.
Yeah,
where's the car?
Pier.
Anyhow, just dive into a bush, pal.
He's like dead. You also
There's
tell
gotta
an
be a lake
anecdote
around
where
here somewhere.
you're on the phone with the president. He didn't even know that the guy that he was asking for was right next to him.
My boss was on an international like in Europe or something. The phone rang in the office, and I picked it up. And I was like, "Oh, Mr. President, Henry." He was like, "He's safe there." He's like, "No, he's traveling with you. He's on the same trip that you are."
And you work for the National Security Council.
Oh my God, that's the best part of it.
It's like a marathon.
He called back to the office to ask for somebody who was with him overseas.
Right. On the same trip. Jake Sullivan, one of his right-hand men.
The good news is for the rest of the family, they don't got to kick 10% back to the big guy because he's not going to remember what's coming in.
Which button do you push for takeout? Which button? Oh, man. That's scary.
So just amazing that and again, it was another honeypot situation. This guy he thought he was on a date. He's going to impress the date, whoever it was, female or male, and just regurgitating everything he's not supposed to be talking about because he's
what
a
kind of spy?
Hey, they're thinking about putting me in the new James Bond movie because I'm such a good spy. I'd never fall for anything like this.
Yes, I'm just gonna be 000.
000 is great.
I was thinking about
he's
being
now
a spy
less than zero
as he's talking to an undercover. Just come on, you can't even make it up.
No, these are the people the Biden administration brings on. So yes, it's January 20th couldn't get here fast enough.
These guys are making the people on the Veep look like geniuses.
It does, to that point, it does feel like, doesn't it feel like from November 5th? I feel like it's been 6 months since the election to get to this inauguration, and it's only December 18th.
Yeah, we got 30.
Holy
32 days?
Moses, is this going slow? 32 days, 33 days.
Well, that's why they need that money to
Whatever
study
it is.
molasses.
I mean, just crazy. But anyway, so to finish up, and then we'll do some official news. In this piece in PJ Media, where our friend Kevin Downey Jr., who I think will be here on Friday, writes as well. Great stuff over there. Anybody who's familiar with dementia patients will understand very well what's going on here. Joe Biden should never have been president and certainly shouldn't be president now. Whether he will last the next 4 weeks as the nation's first figurehead is still an open question. And I mean, listen, I think it's a valid question.
That's been the fantasy of the people on the left to get their first female president. There, sure, there'll be an asterisk next to it, like, Bonds' home run record, but they don't care. They get what they want. And now Trump's got to make up 48 hats.
Yeah, and then, what do you call it? Gerald Ford would have been right when he predicted the first female president is not going to be elected, but is going to have to take over for the president.
Yeah, that presents a serious merch problem if that was to happen. So let's hope Joe goes to the beach and just, yeah. All right, what else is going on in the news, Delgado?
All right, well, President-elect Trump, he was out and about on Twitter today, and he was talking about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez as he sent her a sympathetic note after she failed in her bid for House leadership. I don't know if you saw
To
this.
Jerry Connolly.
Yes, to Jerry Connolly, 74 years old.
Oh, my God.
President-elect Trump commented earlier today that it's too bad that Representative AOC out of New York was recently turned down for a leadership position in the House committee, prompting an amused response by the progressive politician. He wrote, "Really too bad that AOC lost a battle for the leadership seat in the Democratic Party. She should keep trying. Someday she will be successful." Later, the New York Congresswoman screenshotted the remarks and wrote back, "Damn, it's bad when even Trump is feeling bad for me." And she added a laughing emoji. The amusing exchange came just one day after the 36-year-old Democrat was defeated in her bid to serve as a top Democrat on the House Oversight Committee. The leadership role went to Democratic Representative Jerry Connolly of Virginia, who received 131 votes to Ocasio-Cortez's 84. So there you have it. You know what? Some things never change, and that is the Democratic Party. They want to keep all the old people right where they are so they can keep things going just the way they like them.
I mean, Jerry Connolly, if you've ever watched him in any of these congressional hearings, is really, out of his gourd.
In what way?
He is nuts. He is absolutely Looney Tunes Crazy Townville.
Like he's crazy or just dumb?
Crazy. He's crazy, man. He's over there on the crazy side of town. It's enjoyable to watch him sometimes. It's got good comedic properties to it. But he could be, he's Crazy Town material, as just like the original Crazy Town, of course, which was...
I sent you what I think should be the new version of Crazy Town. I'm telling you, what I saw on Twitter today with people on the streets in San Fran, people, blue-haired girls on their all fours in the weirdest clothes being walked around on leashes. I'm like...
that's just another day.
That's just a Wednesday.
That's a Wednesday in San Francisco. Come on. There's nothing weird about that.
It was reported that Pelosi went hard to tank AOC's bid for Connolly. That was being the scuttlebutt on the Dem side.
Yes. Even from a hospital bed, she was able to whip up the votes.
And I'm sure it has nothing to do with AOC co-signing a bill that would prevent Congress people from, working the stock market.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, she did what? Insider trading? I can't insider trade? Get her off the committees.
AOC's lucky she didn't get whacked.
Yeah. Exactly.
She's lucky she didn't come in close contact with a Mypillow.
Nasty,
exactly.
Nasty Pelosi gonna get you.
Put this up as we go out here, friend. Rachel Bidet says, "What a day. Conservatives, Elon Musk. CR sucks because too much spending. Trump Vance, let's raise the debt ceiling now." What a day. Live from Studio 6B. We're back right after this.
Business as usual in D.C. You're a good typer. Quick and fast.
Chest. Bird flu is on my bingo card.
All right, chat. What's going on, chat? Sorry, I was Xing something out, tweeting something out. Paul likes your typing, Damon. Get a room, fellas.
Over typing? You got to see him do merengue. That's what. No. I don't even know what a merengue is. I'm just quoting Tim.
It's a pie.
What were you saying? What was happening this morning when you called me?
Yeah.
I couldn't hear you. Right.
I've always loved you.
Whispered into the phone, Paul.
Speaking of flesh, I like men. I like being manhandled. I like you. He's in the prison.
I like you.
I gotta watch that movie again.
You ever served time, Doc? Damon, did you get the picture of Dakota and Santa? No, I don't know what that is. But I did. Oh, I did get something I have to play here while we're doing sports. This was great. This was great.
What was it?
Me and you, Slick.
When was this?
When we were kids.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I thought you were born old. He was on his little, little pogo, the horsey there. Oh, Pickles. That was it, Pickles.
Yeah.
He was ranting. He was already quoting Levin.
Although I really...
Uh-oh. It's a good one to do in between, I guess.
All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday night. Glad you're in. Delgado's been doing the news. Paul Nolan sitting in. Fran and Brianna holding it down tonight. Aaron will be back tomorrow night. Slick's here. He's got some more sports before we wrap it up. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. MyPillow. MyPillow.com/LFS6B is the place to go to get all the best deals for this audience. Promo code to use at checkout is LFS6B. And, of course, if you do, you send us your receipt showing you used our code. We'll send you a free shirt off of our merch store at livefromstudio6b.com. Slickster's got sports. Slick, what's going on?
All right, NCAA football, Big D, the Art of Sport LA Bowl at SoFi Stadium. What do you know? UNLV, a 3.5-point favorite, up by 4. 7-3, 117 to go there in the first. I gave it to you earlier. James Madison, 27-17 over Western Kentucky. James Madison, the winners of the Boca Raton Bowl. It's bowl season. Bowls are on fire. College football playoffs this weekend. Can't wait. A lot of good football coming up. This is down to the wire for the NCAA. And some great playoff implication games, too, as the season starts to take shape and head to the playoffs in the NFL. NHL action right now. Maple Leafs 4-2 over the Stars, 11 to go there in the third down in Dallas. Earlier tonight, the Red Wings take over the Flyers 6-4 in Detroit. They won that one in Wild, taking on the Panthers. That game, I said 9:30 puck drop, but no update there. And Canucks, Utah Hockey Club, 10 p.m. puck drop. Jets and Ducks, 10 p.m. puck drop as well. Well, the great Caitlin Clark, Iowa to retire her jersey, the number 22 jersey, and they're going to do it on February 2nd, as in 2-2. Good stuff. The number Caitlin Clark, made famous at Iowa, will now be retired by the University of Iowa. In an announcement posted posted to X on Wednesday. The school announced it would retire Clark's iconic 22 jersey during the Hawkeyes game against USC on February 2nd. I'm forever proud to be a Hawkeye, and Iowa holds a special place in my heart that is bigger than just basketball, Clark said in a statement. It means the world to me to receive this honor and to celebrate it with my family and friends. And Aaron Rodgers, I guess on a 4-10 team, is trying to stay relevant, but he has a Netflix special they've been running on. I don't know if any of you guys have seen it. It's called Enigma. Warner Todd Houston of Breitbart, Aaron Rodgers claims JFK assassination spurred his political interest, disheartened with two-party system. New York Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers has noticed that he became interested in politics after becoming fascinated by the assassination of President Kennedy. Still, he also says he has become disheartened with our party system. Rodgers revealed his thoughts in the latest episode of the Netflix documentary Aaron Rodgers Enigma. In it, he says in the late 1990s, when he was in high school, he began to study the JFK assassination. I mean, I got into politics back then when I was a sophomore in high school. I mean, the idea all around, honestly, your uncle's death and was my first entrance into pulling the veil back, as I call on it, like what's actually going on, because I read Warren Commission's report about it. I remember it hit me going, this is what they said happened. This can't be real, he says in the documentary. So obviously he was questioning that. And just totally disheartened as well about the two-party system. Forever that there's a two-party system, that really the one party that's ruling is the people with the money. So I really don't have any hope in politics until really you announced your candidacy, he told RFK Jr. He was in a conversation, obviously, with RFK Jr. about his uncle and also about his future aspirations. He also said he's going to be willing to mentor a quarterback if he comes back for the 2025 season. He announced that earlier today as well. So Jets 4-10, their season's over, but they may be drafting a QB. I say they do within the top 5. They're going to be a top 5 pick most likely. And that's a wrap in sports, Big D. All
right, Slick, very good sports brought to you by Mike Lindell and Mypillow. Paul Nolan's here. He's got some things that he's...
Some news stuff I thought was interesting.
What's going on?
Louisiana, Wisconsin are reporting a serious case of the bird flu, as Rick had mentioned earlier. California, Gavin Newsom just declared a state of emergency. He's saying it's just precautionary, so everyone's ready for when it does hit hard, which is eerie unto itself. And... what I'm concerned about is this guy last year, Igor Kirillov, forgive me for his pronunciation, he just got whacked, and he alleged the U.S. had plans to manufacture another biological crisis, and he's been on record as saying it and bringing documents. He's had thousands of pages of documents talking about the biolabs in Ukraine and the evidence with them and, United States government and Big Pharma. Here's that clip. We got it.
No?
No, don't worry about it. Anyway, he says
к новой пандемии путем осуществления поиска мутаций вирусов.
Oh, yeah, okay. So basically he's saying that just like in 2019, the U.S. has started to prepare a new pandemic by looking for mutated viruses. We do not exclude the possibility of the USA using so-called defense in an offensive capacity, as well as in pursuit of the goal of imposing global control by creating biological crises.
Yeah, and now he's dead, and Ukraine is taking credit for it, and there's some evidence that it wasn't Ukraine, it was somebody else. So just, to me, it's more poking the bear, if you will, stuff to keep an eye on. In Pittsburgh, they came out with a nice program that doesn't seem racist to me at all. Why don't you roll this clip? That was Slick Rick.
I'm really excited for not just our membership, but the region and the Commonwealth as a whole. I think that these resources and the new programming and the grant funding is going to really help organizations such as the nonprofits that are doing the work in the trenches, helping these small businesses really thrive. But I'm really excited also the fact that there's going to be some dedicated resources to helping would-be entrepreneurs figure it out. It's a tough lift to figure out what you want to get into and how you can help your community thrive. And so I think that these resources going into these organizations are going to work with these individuals to help them figure it out. It's going to create a ripple effect. That ripple effect is going to help them get started, lift them up, but also it's going to create jobs, much needed jobs in these communities. It's going to help these communities thrive with the disposable income that these jobs are going to create, making sure that everyone in every...
Yeah, so, I mean, it sounds great when you hear it with no context, Paul, but the context is what?
Is that this is not for everybody. This is just for people who look like him. Again, now, do I want to see infrastructure in inner cities grow? Yeah, that's the most important thing. But the way they do it, it's. So
this is a grant for those of you who can't see this guy. This is a grant program to help only minority-owned businesses. If you're a white business owner, you're out.
Yep. So don't try to help the inner city. Don't try to create a business there. But hey, it is what it is. If it helps, it helps. But I'm not buying it. I lobbed this right in there with the BS, DEI stuff. We hope is finally going to go away. I still think the 50-second clip of Vivek is worth playing. If you want to bang that out.
And what is this about?
This is what he said. The 1,500-page bill. No one read it, but I did a favor.
All right, cut 5. Roll it. Do we have cut 5?
Congress is about to pass a bill that blows away your taxpayer money, but they made it over 1,500 pages long so you wouldn't read it. I did you a favor. I read it for you.
It's supposed to be about keeping government operations open and providing disaster relief aid to hurricane victims, which I'm sympathetic to. But if you read the bill carefully, it contains pay raises for members of Congress, and I'm not making this up, an expansion of their federal health benefits. It contains all kinds of special interests and pork funding, including opening up a new stadium in Washington, D.C. It renews the Global Engagement Center, which is a key node of the censorship industrial complex. And the worst part is, they didn't want you to know about any of it, and that's why they made this a last-minute jam job. The reason I'm co-heading DOGE is I think we need outsiders to bring actual accountability to Washington, D.C. So feel free to call your congressman and let him know how you feel about it.
That's it.
That is fire.
That's it. I had the Crazy Town clip that made me nauseous, but
and that was the start of the day. That was starting that him and Elon were really the driving force from there. And, of course, the people speaking up and saying, no more of this. Got us from where we were this morning to, of course, where we are tonight. And now we got to deal with this debt ceiling situation. But a good day for we the people and our elected leaders who work for us. All right, as always, we salute our military, active, inactive, police, firefighters, first responders, EMTs, all emergency personnel, all our truckers, all our farmers, everybody that keeps the country moving forward. Thanks, guys, on the show. Fran, Brianna, great job, as always, in the booth. Most of all, thank you to Live from Studio 6B audience. We'll see you tomorrow night, 8 p.m., right here, live from Studio 6B.